If you're wondering how I made that, you've come to the right place. This is definitely one of my most ambitious projects yet. I started this all the way in October, so about 5 months of trial and error, learning, and many breakthroughs. I've made a dress-up game before, so I wasn't going in completely clueless. However, I intended this to be better than ever. I love Sabrina Carpenter, and I've kept up with her here and there for years. But I refound my love for her in 2022, and I've especially been fascinated by her recently. Despite my love for her, I've only drawn her once. Her pastel-y, sparkly rebrand has been calling my name, and I decided to focus my passion on a Sabrina Carpenter dress-up game. Pop princess dress-up for legal reasons, okay? I'm gonna walk you through almost every step of how I made this possible. There's a lot, so I'll try my best to cut this down and not keep you here forever. And this wouldn't be possible without Maker.io. I downloaded a code, and their website lets you easily make dress-up games for free, doing all the hard work for you while you focus on the art. One aspect of myself I realized that I have through this project is my complete disregard for how long a project will take me. I really appreciate that about myself. I feel like other artists could easily get annoyed by how long a project takes and maybe get tired and give up. But I don't even register it, and I just take it day by day until it's done. Like, it's literally not on my mind at all. And if it is, it's not in a bad way. I'm just really dedicated. I'm honestly glad certain projects take so long too, because it gives me time to realize past mistakes. For example, here, I realized the posing of her arms was off, so I redid it. I'm glad I caught this before I was deeper into the project. My original plan was to have her smiling, but unfortunately I felt like her features were getting lost. It didn't really look like her to me. Maybe I was overthinking it, but I ended up opting for a neutral expression instead. Okay, when it comes to the coloring, I'm gonna have to send this in parts. I didn't draw any details because I'm not a creep weirdo, but I don't know how sensitive YouTube's guidelines are, so I just don't want to take any chances. I had to have a blank base so I could build any clothes I wanted on top. I drew undergarments later. Here, I added some more detail to the face, and I had a light bulb moment where I decided to separate the eyes from the rest of the line art so I could move them around anywhere I wanted. I felt like a genius with this, I'm not gonna lie. I had so many little celebrations during this project, I was just so proud of myself. Okay, if I'm remembering correctly, I think this hair was the first thing I drew. It's from when she was on Jimmy Fallon, right before Short and Sweet came out. That was pretty recent when I was drawing it, so that gives you an idea of how long ago this was. My girl has won 2 Grammys since. Throughout this whole process, I was very aware that the layout had to be compatible with the dress-up game, so every hair I drew had to have front pieces and pieces that went behind the body, so no weird overlapping was happening with future clothes or accessories. I was eager to just jump in on what was most exciting and iconic, the Short and Sweet tour outfits. The pastel colors and the sparkles were just perfect. They make her look absolutely gorgeous on stage. I was really excited about trying to replicate these detailed and luxurious garments.
Very early on, you were like, I want all the looks to be exactly the same for each act, but just change colors throughout the shows.
The way we change it up is through colors and details and accessories and like little things here and there, so that way I always know what I'm getting into every night, but the audience can feel like they're seeing something new consistently.
I started with my favorite color, the pink corset. Unfortunately, I had issues with recording, so you didn't get to see me color this from scratch. References are so important to me as an artist. Even though I'm aware my style is pretty stylized, I'm also really detail-oriented, and I want my work to be as accurate as possible. By the way, I wouldn't be able to make any of these fashion pieces look as good as they do without the fashion brush pack by Vigalia. Shout out to her. She has the best brushes that really came in clutch this whole project. Once I finished the pink corset, it was simple enough to recolor the rest. Then it was time for the baby doll dresses.
Midway through the first song, puts a baby doll dress on.
And I remember being so excited when I was like, I'm gonna get to wear a baby doll on stage because it feels like pajamas. Like, it's so comfortable. So when I throw that on over the corset, I have no insecurities, no like thoughts about anything because I'm just so comfortable in those little dresses.
Now, if this was a regular standalone drawing, I would have utilized layer styles like screen and such to make it look even more realistic, but I just stick to normal mode and just play with opacity because the final clothing items had to be flattened for the game. Onto the lacy catsuit. Spoiler alert, I didn't end up drawing the Juno outfits. Sorry. At the end of the day though, this is my project, and I just wasn't really a fan of the triangular cut of the top. Sabrina is always gorgeous, but it's just not my fave. I'm not gonna spend the time I do on these drawings if it isn't something I love. For efficiency, I duplicated the bow from the baby doll dresses, made some alterations, and used it for the bow in the catsuit. Work smarter, not harder. Since the catsuit has the illusion of being sheer, I had to duplicate the skin base underneath it and expand it to fit the clothing, so it was seamless. I was just so in love with the cut of this catsuit. The flattering neckline, the capri cut of the pants. It was just so fun to draw. It was really satisfying. Once I had that little batch of the tour outfits done, I put them in Photoshop. Nothing too fancy, just wanted to see all the pieces compiled together. Lots of organizing of files and creating folders. The next hair I did was these cute little curls that Sabrina has while she's getting ready. The goal was for this to be the default hair that you get when you first open the game, so it's like you're really getting her ready. I simplified the rollers a lot because 1, I wanted them to be stylized and cutesy, and 2, I knew people wouldn't really pay that much attention. As you can probably tell from the frames dropping once again, recording issues. I don't know why my recent iPad can't handle drawing and recording at the same time, but whatever. This is why I'm showing every item at the end, because some of the recordings don't quite finish properly. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I just said that I was most excited for the short and sweet tour outfits. But I'm gonna have to scratch that because I was just so excited to draw everything in this project. One of them being her, I would consider this her first ever viral moment, was this outfit. This was at the 2023 Spotify Best New Artist Party. And This outfit just perfectly captures the Barbie look. And you know, as I've said, pink and sparkles, totally me. So I could not be more excited for this. And as you can see at this point, I have the undergarments all good and ready, so no more censoring needed. But I also just duplicated the underwear for that and used it as like the underwear underneath the skirt and just modified it. So that was a good base to be able to have. That's something I kind of constantly do throughout this project, and that you'll see more of in the future is I try to utilize things I've already drawn for this project before and just be able to reuse it and modify it in a new way, which saves a lot of time. I specifically remember during this outfit, I was rewatching Criminal Minds. I've taken a bit of pause on that because I have so many shows I'm watching at the moment, but yeah, I used to be obsessed with Criminal Minds in 2021. That's why I discovered it, and I started rewatching it at this point, and I don't know, that's a distinct memory I have. Whenever I'm drawing something, I'm always watching something in the background. I never just like draw by myself doing nothing. Like, that's boring to me. I'll either be watching a YouTube video or a show or a movie, or at the very least some music. YouTube is usually my go-to because, you know, you don't really have to pay attention most of the time. And if it's a show or movie, it usually has to be one I've watched already. Because, you know, I don't want to miss any new important information. But if it's something I've seen before, that makes it easier to just have in the background. Now, I don't know how to describe it, but doing this design of this shirt was simultaneously satisfying, but also extremely annoying and difficult at the same time. You can see I did put the original image underneath just to make my life a bit easier, but it was still really hard because the image I used wasn't the exact angle that I was drawing this shirt as, so I couldn't just directly copy it. I had to like interpret it in my own new way to fit the angle. And I had to continuously ask myself, am I gonna go this far with this detail, or am I gonna interpret it in my own way to make it look more simplified to the viewer's eye? Guess I had recording issues because we just cut to the finished design. As you can see, I did the effort of adding stitches. And that's something you'll see a lot in this project. I like adding the stitches. Despite how minuscule that detail is, I think it really matters. And this is my first attempt at the underwear design, but I can't believe it. I got it incorrect the first time around. So right now what I'm drawing is not correct. I don't know why I didn't see that. I thought that upper design was a reflection of the skirt at first, not the underwear, and I realized, oh, it actually does look like that, so I ended up changing that later. Also, I was really surprised drawing this to find out that the buttons were triangular. Like, I feel like I've never seen triangular buttons in my life. That was very unique and interesting. Favorite part, glitter coming up. Love that glitter. I used so many sequins in this project. And first of all, glitter just looks great, but it's also just fun to draw because since it's a particle brush, you can just play around with the randomness and it saves you a lot of time. Imagine if you had to place glitter one by one, that would be so exhausting. Here I am, finally fixing the design of the underwear, and making it better. Before Sabrina's brand was all about kisses, she was all about hearts. So that leads us into the heart corset. I was so excited for this. Once again, I was just excited for everything. But I was really excited to do the heart cutout. Because man, that looks so good. Like, not to sound bisexual right now, but like, wow. That's amazing. Anyway. Yeah, we got the lace going on. Even though the short and sweet corset and the heart corsets are both corsets, I realized that there are different types of corsets, and these corsets were structured differently, so I had to draw them a bit differently. While the short and sweet ones accentuate the bust, these corsets kind of just go like straight down and are more focused on the whole figure itself. So that was something I had to change. Also, this skirt was interesting for me to figure out. I'm kind of struggling to figure out how Sabrina even wears this skirt. Like, I'm like, where is it attached to? Because it just looks like a little piece of fabric that's like all rumpled together. I'm like, is that even a skirt, or is it just fabric that's pinned onto her? Anyway. You can see here, I kind of painted skin underneath as a little cheat for sheerness without making it actually sheer. I was intimidated by all the sparkles, but I was determined to get it right. When you zoom in close, it looked simple, but I didn't want it to look too complicated because then zoomed out, it would look a bit weird. So, you know, when it comes to stylization, you have to pick and choose what you do sometimes. And I think the embroidered glitter ended up looking good still. And it's weird, despite pink being my favorite color, the pink corset is actually not one of my favorites. My favorite corset was the original I did. The yellow, I think this is just because it's the first one I did, and maybe it's the one I paid most attention to, that's probably why. I kind of focused on making them all look like synchronous rather than making each and every one specific and accurate, you know? Ooh, another one I'm excited about. The heart outfit where the top is a literal heart itself. It's so cute, are you kidding me? I have a little tip to give you, okay? So you would ask me, Phoenix, how do you shade silky fabric? My quick answer would be, I don't know, I just do it. It just happens. I don't actually understand how life works. But my detailed answer, which is still not very professional, but it's at least something. The way I think of shading silk clothes is where the shadows would be, that's where you put the highlights. And where the highlights would be, that's where you put the shadows or the neutral tone. I think it works, okay? It's pretty convincing the way I do these things. Also, when it comes to silk fabric, the highlights are very bright and the shadows are very dark. everything is really dramatic and contrasty. I mean, obviously, all of this looks simple because it's sped up, but I'm telling y'all, 5 months of this. 5 months everything took. And it's not even all the items I wanted to do. Which brings me to, there were so many things I wanted to do, I ended up making a literal list. A list in my notes app. Because I realized I had so many things I wanted to do. I couldn't rely on my brain on storing it all. I was so sure I was going to forget something, so I had to write a list. I ended up heavily tuning this later on my own when I wasn't editing. But it was really helpful, and it made me feel like I was actually getting things done. This is where I realized I had so many things I wanted to do that I couldn't do everything I wanted to. Realistically, I wanted to release this early to mid-March because Sabrina was going back on tour in March, and you know, realistically, when your artist gets to play the social media game, and I knew that when she was going back on tour, she would be talk of the town again, and more people would see my thing, so I had to release it strategically. So, with this, instead of doing all the items I want to do, there will soon be updates later on. For example, I eventually want to add makeup, more jewelry, and I'm thinking of like categorizing these updates in the future, having like music video update where I do music video outfits, and events update where I do outfits she's worn to several events. Performance updates, like what she wears when she does standalone concerts like Coachella and the Grammys and stuff like that. Okay, this next one was pretty simple, but I wanted to do it anyway. It's this cute, like, denim-esque dress that she wore for a Grammys museum spotlight event. I just thought this was so her brand. Like, I could not put it in. So it's a heart cutout once again, but a bit different, a bit higher. I just thought this dress was so classy and cute. I love the way it, like, tapers down. Once again, I had to kind of get interpretive with this because the only picture showing the length of the dress was when she was sitting. So I kind of had to guess, and that kind of made me anxious, but you know, whatever. I had a lot of fun adding the textures for the denim, and once again I added the stitches, and this was like, bro, I was feeling myself adding these stitches. I thought it looked so cool. Still do. Then when I was done with it, I easily utilized it to create the iconic Espresso dress. I just had a funny thought. What if this was like a behind the scenes infinite loop Where then, after this video was over, I showed you how I edited this video itself. That would be crazy. Okay, and now we're on to the Grammys red carpet look. Her hair was amazing. She's just perfect at doing the mix of retro and modern. Like, she really pulls off that modern Marilyn Monroe look so well. It's actually crazy. I was like blown away in shock when I saw the red carpet pictures. Props to her hairstylist because they did a great job at pinning her hair back and like making it look believably short, you know? When I colored this in, I tried a new thing of erasing away parts of the bangs. Her bangs were a bit wispy, so I erased parts of it to, you know, let it show through the skin, but without those thick, bold outlines I usually do. It took me a while to execute it the way I wanted it to, but I like the way it turned out. This dress, woo, Lord, 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 amazing, like literally no words. She looks stunning, like, I'm drooling, sorry, yep, I'm drooling. I really want to make this game centered around pink because I'm biased and it's my favorite color. Take a freaking shot every time I say it's this freaking video, bro. I swear to God. Oh my God. Sorry. Jeez. But throughout this project, it was undeniable that baby blue is Sabrina Carpenter's color. Thanks to her, I fall in love with this color. It's so pretty. Attempting the feathers was a bit intimidating to me, but luckily I had the right tools to execute it once again, thanks Begalia. Yeah, I kind of just let it be more interpretive. You know, if you look up close, you're kind of like, what the heck is going on? But from far away, I think it looks believable, okay? Okay, this is where we kind of take a trip back in time, because I organized these clips back to back, so, you know, it'd be centric around the outfits. But I drew the tiny desk hair itself actually really early on in the project, so you'll actually see a way older face that I'm drawing on top of. And it's actually this hair itself, the reference that I was using. I realized I need to fix that face immediately. I'll actually cut in here and show you. It was so yellow. It was crazy yellow. And I did not add nearly enough blush on there, which is crazy because I'm literally the blush queen. You know, that stupid blush blindness trend people made up? If that would apply to anyone, that would be applied to me. I love making my art super blushy, and I just managed to not do it this time around somehow. So I had to fix that stat. Another plus to this project taking so long is, wow, if I released it any sooner, I can't believe I drew that. Sorry, I can't, it's crazy. You know, someone is an icon when they can make even a freaking shower curtain look amazing, because when I first saw this dress, I was like confused. I was confused when I saw it. Not hateful, okay, I'm not dramatic. But I was confused. I was like, what is this dress supposed to be? But drawing it actually helped me garner even better appreciation for it. I mean, obviously she looks gorgeous all the time. And she looked so cute in this tiny dress performance. And sound amazing. Screw the haters. Yeah, just drawing this dress. It was so cute. I love the length. I love how short it was. Sabrina is the queen of baby doll dresses, okay? The amount of baby dolls I drew in this project, and I will continue to do for further updates to come. It's insane. But I loved it. Honestly, baby doll dresses were the easiest to draw because they just flare out. You don't have to worry about the form that much. I used the structure of older lacy tights that I drew off camera, just the positioning of it, to get these newer tights right. Finally guys, we're almost done. Animation time. This animation had kind of a long back and forth happening. I originally wanted to make it more complex with like all her body parts moving, but I just could not, for the life of me, figure out how to make that look good. So I originally decided to settle for her eyes blinking and the main focus just being the different outfits and stuff. Once I decided to simplify it, I was really stressed out over nothing because this only took one day to complete. I mean, that's because my vision was so clear. I knew what I wanted it to be. I want it to be jumpy, like a real advertisement. I kind of loosely followed a tutorial, but I already know After Effects pretty well, so I was mainly able to do all the things I wanted to on my own. And then at the end, I just cropped it so it could go on my socials. I felt so proud of myself when I finished this. I was giggling like a maniac. I cannot tell you how rewarding this project has been for me. I'm so proud of myself and I hope you love it as much as I do. But if you don't, that's okay. Like I said, I love it enough. If you want to play the game for yourself, it's going to be down in the description. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. Let me know if you have any questions or just want to talk about my project, and if you really enjoy it, it would really mean a lot to me if you shared this video with others. Thanks again, and bye.